So, who wants to have lunch? Hands up. Anybody wants to eat? Yes, good. So, let's be fast. I will start right away. I've been asked to give a few closing words, which actually is not going to be little else than just a summary of today's results. First good news, we actually are on time. Second good news for you is that here is said that it was going to be half an hour of conclusions. It's going to be 3 minutes. So I hope that that's also good news for you. So, looking from the morning until this afternoon, just to give each other a little bit of a refresher. In this morning, we had the official opening speech, in which we heard a number of words which I thought were quite interesting. The foremost for me was investment. Innovation is finally seen as investment and not as an expenditure, which is a whole different issue. We're starting to move, even from the political side, to this concept. We are not spending money. We're investing in having a roof over our heads tomorrow, which is a whole different ballgame. From the second session, I found a number of, once again, very nice words, but I would like to keep just a couple of notes. Okay? First one would be the concept of electrical massage. It hurts more than what they say. So don't trust Ani Jimenez to tell you the truth, just to make a nice experiment. The second concept, indeed, is, well, of course, that we all in the different sessions, we looked at issues such as, for instance, I found very interesting the concept of Philips, where they say open innovation is not only something that we do, it's something that we use to survive. I found extremely also interesting Ms. Varela speaking about the need, even in a very conservative or traditional very conservative industry, to go forward innovation as a way to keep the market running. Things change. We had stamps, now we don't have stamps. And also very much like her explanation that we find their products in our everyday use from when we die to when we die. No, nearly. From the first day to the last day, we'll need their products. I found also particularly interesting to speak about the issue of business versus science. We always say, well, it's the effort of the scientists to come up with something nice that we all can buy and use. These are people that spend hours inside a laboratory with fumes and other things, and things that difficult real life. We expect them to go to a board meeting, explain an idea so it makes sense financially, that it makes sense economically, that it makes sense in intellectual property and exploitation in market. It's like asking me, which I'm an economist, to give a presentation on the applications of nanotechnology in neurosciences. Not much of a chance. Okay? So maybe we are demanding too much from them and we need to work with that. Then moving on to the different sessions, starting with the corporate entrepreneurship. First conclusion for me was that everybody used Post-its. Color Post-its seems to be the basis of all innovation nowadays. I didn't see a single photo where there was not rows upon rows of Post-its, so 3M, well done. You're still at the forefront of innovation. Second conclusion, and this is really what one of the phrases I like the most, was we need to combine the resources of large corporations with the passion of startups. And we see that more and more, even in today's session, where we saw that we like to put people separate, to create small teams. The smaller the team, the more drive there is to move forward, the more ambition. Put the teams to compete with each other. And we saw that in many of the corporate entrepreneurship programs, that they put the teams and give them an objective and say, go. Okay, and also evidently. Another one of the issues that I very much like to hear was the concept of from training to learning. We used to train people, now we want people to learn. The difference, I would say before, is fundamental. One is experience, you only learn from experience, and the second issue is failure, you only learn from failure. From success, you get yourself a beer and you pat yourself on the back. But we barely know why or where have we succeeded. Now, moving on to the issue of market intelligence. Everybody in corporate entrepreneurship mentioned this as a core element. We need to know where we're going before we take the first step. Market intelligence is at the core of corporate entrepreneurship. The ideas need to make sense. And that cannot be done any other way than the highest strategic level in every company. It needs to come right from above to allow this to happen. Now moving very rapidly to the 3 parallel sessions, because it's more than 3 minutes, but at 30 I'm going to be finished. I will just simply, first of all, thank all the speakers for your time, your dedication, your patience, and for sticking more or less to your times, which is very good. Normally it doesn't happen. In the case of investment, just to give you the idea, I did a question at the end to all the speakers, which was, which kind of project would you marry? And they made it very clear. The team needs to be good. They need to be good looking also, of course, but good team. They need to have very clear ideas and need to offer me something disruptive. I think you, Oscar, you mentioned the wow factor. I want to be wowed. Okay. Then from the second group, which was the one related to corporate, the conclusions were dedicated mostly to the selection process. How does this work? I mean, we're a large company, we have thousands of ideas, thousands of projects. We want the people to think out of the box, but we're all sitting inside the box, so it makes it very difficult. How do we do selection? Based on money potential, based on market share, based on potential growth, based on immediate net to market? Is this going to take 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? The head of Hewlett-Packard spoke very clearly about this. They were doing today the financial efforts to get returns in 5 to 10 years' time. But they need to do it today. So we need to know that a vast amount of factors needs to count onto this selection process. And finally, our last session, which I think everybody's here, Vicente, just very rapidly, just give me a couple of... Thank you. They were a bit late, bad boys. It's just basically, okay, this is a simple conclusion. The investment plan to foster circular economy in Europe will be of 315 billion euros. So it's a fair amount of money there. I'm sure we will manage to find ways to make it forward. We have seen issues such as smart cities taking place at different platforms, waste management, water management, everything becoming integrated, huge amounts of data, and now we find, hey, by the way, since we know where everything is coming from and where everything is going, maybe we can reuse it also. And we have started to see huge business opportunities on this. Now, I will, once again, thank you everybody for coming. I still have 1 minute left, and I will tell you the following. Food is upstairs. See you there. Take care. Bye-bye.